Once we get rid of all the pirates, the galaxy will be a better place. Heard you boarded the Key. I can't imagine what state the pirates have left you.
You're back. So how did it go? Then things are moving forward. Perfect.
Nice job, Rook.
I was certain we'd fool Delgado, but never. She's a sharp one. Overcoming her scrutiny is no small matter. Did you discover anything worth reporting yet? If the intelligence I've read is accurate, Delgado is a charismatic leader, but a bit short on judgment. That's why you want to stay on his good side and stay away from Neva. She's shrewd, and she's sniffed out everything we've thrown her way. I understand your concern, but you can rest assured that every member of this crew has been thoroughly vetted by both myself and Lieutenant Toft. Any information that you turn over will not be leaving this ship until it's fully encrypted and encoded. I give you my word. Legacy. Why does that sound familiar? Wait a moment. Are you telling me Delgado may have actually located Kryxs' legacy?
I suppose it's possible, sir. Intelligence picked up a bit of chatter on that subject recently. We assumed it was some sort of tall tale or a story to attract recruits to their cause. Well, let's find out if Delgado's chasing ghosts, or he's smarter than we suspect. Let me see what we have here. Nope. There are no records of a Gal Bank transport named the Legacy in the database. I think Delgado's trying to manipulate you. What do you think, sir?
I think there's no record because Gal Bank is hiding something. Delgado's no fool. If he risked his own neck to get that information, then he must be on to something. We have to take this seriously. What's your next move? That one's simple. We monitored your ships heading down to the surface of Suvorov. In fact, when he returned to the Key and you didn't immediately follow, well, we almost thought our operation was terminated. Can you imagine the amount of embarrassment Gal Bank would have to endure if they listed a lost transport in the ship registry? Doesn't matter if that ship went down 5 or 500 years ago. If news gets out that a bank has misplaced money, it would tank their value. Clever, Delgado. Very clever. If I were in your place, I'd be trying to do the exact same thing. We can't let Delgado get his hands on what could potentially turn out to be the largest haul of credits the Crimson Fleet's ever seen.
Maybe I should head out to New Atlantis, sir. I could press the Gal Bank execs for information. Get ahead of everything.
No. Let's allow this to run its course. We have our agent here feeding us information. I think that's good enough for now. There's more to this than just finding the location of the transport. Jasper Kryxs was clever. For some reason, he never got there. Because the Crimson Fleet would be a totally different adversary, and Kryxs wouldn't have disappeared years ago. Even if they hid the money with that damn human computer Shinny of us, our forensic accounting people would have found that data. No, the Crimson Fleet are in dire shape right now. They haven't seen that much currency, well, ever. It's imperative that you do. If the Crimson Fleet gets its hands on a transport full of currency, it would be disastrous for the settled systems. I need you to do whatever you can to bring us more information. And for God's sake, don't kill anyone on that Starliner. You're both dismissed.
I bet operations on the Hero Clown Show.
About time you showed up. All right, I want to know what's going on. I've been trying to get Delgado's attention for, I don't know, 3 years now. And what do I get? Nothing but radio silence. Then out of nowhere, just when Neva and I are closing in on a huge score of our own, Delgado orders me to help you out. Oh, sure, sure. First a tour, followed by a formal dinner at the captain's table. Let's get one thing straight. You're here for business, not for a vacation, so let's start by talking about Delgado's sudden olive branch. Happy? Oh, I'm thrilled. Still, this leaves me with a lot of unknowns, and in our line of work, unknowns get you killed. So Neva's message said you were here for Dombrowski. Was that all she sent you here to do? Or was there something else you were sent here to steal? Don't play games with me. We both know pinging a message back and forth to the key is going to take longer than we have to do this job. We're supposed to be working together on every part of this. So, you're gonna tell me what else you're here for or not? Okay. So why are you targeting a Gall Bank exec anyway? Not exactly your average Crimson Fleet prey. Why the interest? Oh, I see. We're playing this game now. Fine, fine. Well, you might as well turn around and hop back aboard your ship because you're not getting near Dombrowski without my help. You're insulting my intelligence. Delgado wouldn't send you all the way out here without specifically telling you what you're allowed to offer. I'll tell you what, though. I'm gonna make this extremely inexpensive for you. In fact, you don't have to offer me a single credit. I don't want money. I want back into the Crimson Fleet. It's as simple as that. That's a disturbing way to put it, but I suppose that's the best offer I'm gonna get, so I'll take it. Dombrowski's a full-timer aboard the Siren of the Stars. Probably spends more time cruising the space lanes than actually working. Fortunately, the Siren is hosting the Terran Preservation Society charity gala. Larry won't be able to resist showing off his VIP clout. To get what you need, you're gonna have to attend the gala, talk to his fellow philanthropists, and dig up some dirt. Someone with enough disposable income to afford a permanent six-figure cabin aboard one of Trident's finest space liners Consider it similar to owning a luxury mobile vacation home. Plaything for the wealthy, you get the gist. Yeah, well, lucky for you, it's not black tie, so you'll be fine. This card will allow you to access the Starfield ballroom. If you need my help, I'll be relaxing in one of the upper-level lounges. Head inside and mingle with the crowd. No one likes Dombrowski, so they'll be more than happy to share his dirty secrets. He's a VIP executive, which means he either worked really, really hard using blood, sweat, and tears to make the arduous climb to the top, or he backstabbed, lied, cheated, and betrayed his way up the corporate ladder. From what I've heard, it's the second option. Now you're speaking my language. Oh, there's one last thing. Trident equips all of their starliners with the latest acoustic threat detection, meaning that you lose patience and kill anyone aboard the ship, security will be alerted and all hell will break loose. Anyway, I suppose that's enough to get you started. Good luck. They claim their goal is to celebrate the soul of the Earth, the culture, the people, and the ideals of the past. In their minds, Earth is now dead, which is why they feel that preservation of its remaining aspects is so important. In reality, this is what happens when folks with far too much time and far too much money get together to make themselves feel like they're contributing to society. Oh, and while you're at the gala, avoid the canopies. They're frozen.
Can you? You're not going to find better tuned engines anywhere else in the settled systems.
To defend the ship! Captain Rokov is one of the most easygoing COs I've ever worked under. In fact, he doesn't act much like a captain at all.
This is one of Trident's top-of-the-line vessels. Hell of a ship, isn't it? These newer vessels more or less run autonomously, which doesn't leave much for the crew to do around here. Trident must have spent a fortune equipping the ship with triple redundancy in almost every internal system.
Captain Rokov said you're allowed in any of the crew-specific areas. Just don't touch anything, please.
There's nothing quite like the view from the Starfield ballroom. You're a guest of Captain Rokov, right? Welcome aboard. Between you and me, the best part of my job is getting a crack at all of the leftovers from the dining area buffets. Every day that I wake up in my bunk, I count my blessings. If you want to dine at Captain Rokov's table during dinner service, it's only an additional 5,000.
Please remember to obey all posted safety and mustering instructions.
The society chair has really outdone herself this time. Quite a lovely Starliner. Nothing but the best for the society, eh?
An open bar would have been nice, but Trident's gouging us for every credit we've got.
So, what brings you aboard?
Hello. Are you a member of the society?
Pleased to make your acquaintance.
Have you tried the canapes? Horrid. Ugh. Positively horrid.
Here for business or pleasure?
I certainly hope they decide to hold all future society events aboard a Starliner. That view is absolutely spectacular, isn't it?
I'm sorry, but unless you're reporting a security situation, I need to get back to my duties.
That view is absolutely spectacular, isn't it?
So, what brings you aboard? An open bar would have been nice, but Trident's gouging us for every credit we've got.
Hello. Are you a member of the Society?
The Society jet has evidently outdone herself this time.
In the event of a lockdown, remember to return to your cabin in a quiet and orderly fashion.
Any complaints about your cruise should be directed to one of the staff.
Quite a lovely Starliner. Nothing but the best for the Society, eh?
The ship's purser can assist you with any matters regarding the security of your items.
Here for business or pleasure? Pleased to make your acquaintance.
Have you tried the canopies? Horrid. Positively horrid.
I certainly hope they decide to hold all future Society events aboard a Starliner.
If you have any specific requests, please speak to one of the cruise attendants.
For the safety of everyone aboard, please certainly don't interfere with any of the crew or security members of our vessel.
The Society chair has really outdone herself this time.
Have you tried the canopies? Horrid. Positively horrid.
Quite a lovely Starliner. Nothing but the best for the Society, eh?
So what brings you aboard? That view is absolutely spectacular, isn't it?
Don't forget to keep your Starview pass handy at all times, or you won't have access to the ballroom.
Pleased to make your acquaintance.
An open bar would have been nice. But Trident's gouging us for every credit we've got.
Here for business or pleasure?
Are you a member of the Society? Well, apparently the award is so valuable, there's only one in existence. It gets passed to a new winner every year. It's critical that the Society keeps the memories of Earth alive in our hearts. I'm doing my part by attending this spectacular event. Enjoy the rest of the event.
I certainly hope they decide it's for the Society's high rollers. If you don't have more than 8 figures in your account, I wouldn't even bother going after the award. Not much, other than the fact that they host these wonderfully entertaining gala events every month. Don't forget to donate to the cause.
I certainly hope they decide to hold all future Society events aboard the Starliner. I missed out on the award to someone else last year, so this year I doubled my contributions to the Society. Fingers crossed. Well, that was boring.
That view is absolutely spectacular, isn't it?
So what brings you aboard? Have you tried the canopies?
Are you a member?
Horrid. Positively horrid.
Sheila Holbrook is chair of the awards committee this year. The way she dotes over that glorified trophy, you'd think it was her own child. That's all then? Okay.
Quite a lovely Starliner. Nothing but the best.
Is this important? I don't have a lot of time for idle nonsense. Yes, I'm extremely busy preparing for the award ceremony, so this better be important. Not at all. I was assured that this particular ship was outfitted with the absolute latest and cutting-edge security. I am completely confident that Trident Luxury Lines will keep all of us safe. Probably in a few days. I don't want the award transfer to actually occur until we're safely in orbit at our destination. Of course, if I keep getting interrupted, the ceremony might never take place at all. Yes, I am. Actually, I've been entrusted with the transfer of the award for the last 7 of its 9 years. Why do you ask? Well, the Earth Savior Award is one of a kind. The Blue Diamonds alone are irreplaceable. Since we can't produce a new award every year, it's instead passed from one recipient to the next. I supervise the transfer and make certain that there's ample security during transport and at the destination. During my tenure? Oh, certainly not. There was an unfortunate incident where my predecessor attempted to sell the award to the highest bidder, but that was quickly resolved. Needless to say, they'll be spending the rest of their life in a UC prison. In my cabin? Oh, please. Why would I do something so foolish? I'll have you know that the award is locked inside the master safe, located at the purser's office. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have much more important things on my agenda than to speak to the likes of you.
Pleased to make your acquaintance.
Could you pester someone else, please? I have too much on my plate to waste time talking to you.
Please remain in designated passenger.
behalf of Trident Luxury Lines, I'd like to welcome you aboard. Welcome to the Purser's office. I'm Chief Purser Murata. How can I be of assistance today? Oh, absolutely. The safe is magnetically sealed and shielded with multiple layers of fully damage-resistant, vacuum-proof plating. In the unlikely event our vessel is boarded and the threat detection alarm is triggered, the safe will be permanently sealed until it reaches port. In the even more unlikely event this ship is destroyed, we can assure you that your loved ones will be able to recover your goods from the wreckage. So, as you can imagine, your property will be completely secure until you decide to retrieve them from our safe. An excellent question. My responsibilities include all of the Siren's financial, customs, and commercial goods transfers. Honestly, I really enjoy the work. I get to meet people at every port of call instead of being constantly stuck below decks. I've only seen it briefly myself, but I can assure you that it's quite lovely. Unfortunately, the item is locked inside of our safe, which can only be accessed by presenting an appropriate claim ID. Is there anything else I can assist you with today? Was there anything else you needed? Well, if you change your mind, I'll be here. Have a wonderful trip. Lost in your thoughts? I do that all the time. Is everything okay? Lost in your thoughts? I do that all the time. I'm sorry. It's against Trident policy to discuss our personal feelings towards a fellow crewmate. I don't want to lose my job. Why should I tell you?
My apologies there, I had a quick phone call. Let's get back to it though, shall we?
That's what I'm hoping. I wish I could, but if anybody found out, I'd told you. I'm glad you understand the position I'm in here. I'm still willing to talk. You don't know what you're talking about. I appreciate your interest, but I'm forbidden to disclose any personal information. It's not about money, it's about my career. I get fired from Trident, that's it for me. Back to scrubbing tables at the Terra Brew. No problem. Is there anything else I can help you with today? Please let me know if there's anything I can do to make your stay more comfortable.
On behalf of myself and the entire team at Trident Luxury Lines, we wish to thank you for choosing to travel with us.
that the route is quite safe.
An open bar would have been nice, but Trident's gouging us for every credit we've got. The society chair has really outdone herself this time.
Don't forget to keep your Starview pass handy at all times, or you won't have access to
Must you continue these... Excuse me? And why in goodness name would I do something as foolish as that? And why in goodness name would I possibly agree to that ridiculous demand? I hear you. I'm trying to be reasonable here. Is this really what we're doing? Yeah, I hope so. Oh, just take the damn thing already. Listen, maybe you can keep this between us. If the award goes missing, there's no need for the insurance company to get involved.
Here for business or pleasure? Hello, are you a member of the... Larry has an A-level executive rating over at Galbank, which means he has access to everyone's accounts at the touch of a button. Nice to have met you. So, I certainly hope they decide to hold... Let's put it this way. He screwed over so many people, if he suddenly disappeared from the universe, I don't think anyone would miss him. Enjoy the rest of the event.
Here for business or pleasure?
That view is absolute. I don't know why Larry's attending this event. He could care less about any planet, let alone the Earth. Besides what I already told you, don't forget to donate to the cause.
The society chair have you tried the canapes? The considerable amounts of cash that Dombrowski donates? Or the only reason we allow him to attend society functions? Well, that was boring.
Yeah, sorry, I'm busy. Maybe we'll talk another time.
An open bar would have been nice, but Trident's gouging us for every credit we've got.
The best for
Hello?
society.
Larry likes to drop overly complex words into conversations. I'm sure he knows that it annoys people, but he does it anyway. That's all then? Okay.
So what brings you aboard?
Have you tried the canapes? Horrid. Positively horrid. That view is absolutely spectacular, isn't it?
An open bar would have been nice.
Here for
but
business or
Trident's
pleasure?
Gouging us for every credit we've got.
He's been spending a lot of time with Claudia Swiss. Quality time, if you catch my meaning. I'm certain his wife doesn't know a thing about it. Nice to have met you.
The society chair has really outdone herself this time. Quite a lovely Starliner. Nothing but the best for the society, eh?
event of a lockdown, remember to...
Sorry, do I know you? Okay, wait, are you seriously, are you trying to pick me up? Look, I appreciate the compliment, but I'm already seeing someone, and my partner doesn't like competition. He gets very jealous. His wife? Oh, for the love of God. I told Larry to keep his big mouth shut, but did he listen? No. He had to impress his friends and treat me like a trophy. Look, I've been in this business for a long time, and I know how this game works, so let's skip all the banter and get it over with. What's it gonna take to make us both happy? If I give you dirt on that son of a bitch Dombrowski, all I'm doing is endangering myself. Why would I do that? If you had another way... Yeah, you could be right. Threats are useless on me. You know what? You're not very bright, are you? I'm a grade C3 exec at Galbank. If that's all you really want... You're willing to pay me to give you dirt on Larry? Sorry, I thought I'd end up on the short end of the deal. You know, this whole thing really pisses me off. Larry and I had the perfect scheme where thousands of credits all worked out, and then he goes and flushes the whole thing down the toilet. I'm not gonna tell you. Let's just say that I'd be sent to prison for a long time if Galbank figured it out. Yeah, I'm getting to that. Larry got together with myself and this other guy, Gabriel Vera. He's some bigwig over at UC Security. I doctored the transactions, Larry wiped them off the system, and Vera kept the legal pressure off of us. We were scamming Galbank for months. It was going well until I discovered Larry was cheating everyone by changing each transaction in his favor before deleting them. I wish I had some. Maybe you should try talking to Gabriel Vera. He should be around here somewhere. If he doesn't want to cooperate, just mention my name. That should grab his attention. Good luck. You're gonna need it. What, are you writing a damn novel? Fine. Vera works for UC Security, so he kept a lookout on their commnet for any Galbank chatter. I guess you could call him our early warning system. And Dombrowski made sure that all of the crypto manipulation I was working on didn't turn up in Galbank's automatic audits. You need top clearance for that kind of access, so we had to cut him in, whether we liked it or not. I hope you hurt Dombrowski. Nail his ass right to the wall.
Please let me know if you're glad to have you aboard. Oh, absolutely. The safe is magnet in the unlikely, in the even. So, as you can. Don't forget to tell your friends how much you enjoy the cruise.
To one of the staff.
Pleased to make your acquaintance.
I certainly hope they decide to hold all future
Hello.
society events.
You here for the charity event? Dombrowski, he's the exec holding court over in the VIP area of the ballroom. Yeah, sorry, I work for UC Security, not Galbank. I don't really know him personally. Claudia sent you, did she? Look, friend, I don't know if you're just a little drunk, maybe a touch crazy, or both. Whatever you think you know about me, you're dead wrong. So back off. Just in case you weren't aware, I am the authorities. Anything you try to report will boil down to your word against mine. And since I work for UC Security, who do you think people will believe? Get the hell away from me before I have you arrested. I told you to stay out of my way. I meant it.
That view is absolutely spectacular, isn't it?
I saw your little exchange with Vera. Keep that up and I guarantee that imbecile's gonna demand that you be arrested. Oh, absolutely. He's up the ladder at UC Security. Lots of pull. We have to handle this very delicately. Which is why he's threatening you. That makes sense. We need hard evidence of their scheme. But it's gonna be tricky. The problem is he's not gonna talk to you in public. We need to get Vera isolated so he'll spill everything he knows. Maybe, but if something goes wrong and he's able to raise an alarm, we're sunk. With all of these wealthy patrons aboard, the ship is crawling with security. Smart. If there's an emergency, standard practice is for all passengers to clear the decks and report to their cabins for lockdown. I think the best chance we have would be to tamper with the life support sensors. Manipulate a few controls and you can fool the monitoring system into thinking there's a life support failure. And there you have your emergency. This is one of Trident's premier starliners. That means it has the best of everything, including a triple redundancy life support system. They installed a backup for the backup. Luckily for us, it will still trip an emergency and everyone will have to return to their quarters until I sound the all clear. Which I won't. Don't worry, it'll be as easy as it was mingling with the guests at the party. Just throw a few lousy switches and you're done. One more thing. If Chief Engineer Sundin gives you any trouble, tell him I'll erase that gambling debt he owes me. I prefer you use that as a last resort, but hey, what's the harm in losing a few credits when I'm on the brink of rejoining the fleet, right? Anyway, I better start packing. Things are getting hot around here, and won't be long before Trident figures out you had help. Get back to it.
An open bar would have been nice.
This is one of Trident's top-of-the-line vessels. Hell of a ship, isn't it?
Hold up. This area is off limits to passengers. Wait a second. You're Captain Rokov's guest, right? Didn't expect to see you down here. Sorry to give you trouble. What can I do for you? Oh, sorry, that area is off limits. No exceptions. Hey, if you're hard set on it, who am I to stop you from staring at a bunch of life support machinery? Tell you what, I'm just going to step out for a bit and stretch my legs. Maybe you can hold this for me while I'm away? Whatever you do, don't break anything, or I'll be out of a job.
security team would appreciate if you'd please shelter in your cabin during this emergency. There's no cause for alarm. I'm sure.
I was wondering if you were the cause of the ship-wide emergency. It's time you stop playing games and tell me why you're here.
Attention, please. The captain has declared a ship-wide emergency. Please report to your cabins in an orderly fashion and remain there until you receive further
Doesn't take a genius to deduce you're the one that's responsible. I locked onto you from the moment you entered the ballroom, and I've watched you trying to clock Dombrowski. After we spoke, I had a feeling you'd pull a stunt like this. I always took him for a fool, but I can't believe he's stupid enough to have gotten mixed up with the Crimson Fleet. Still, why would I possibly want to incriminate myself by handing over any evidence? Claudia said that. You sure? Damn it! That means my money's already gone, and Dombrowski's going to walk away with a fortune. I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't want to end up on the Crimson Fleet's shit list. But if I give you that information and it falls into the wrong hands, I'll end up in jail. This is a lose-lose situation for me. At least I walk away with something. All right, you have yourself a deal. Here, with this slate and this recording to tie it all together, you'll be able to nail his ass to the wall. He'll do whatever you want. Just remember that you promised to leave me out of it. Just because I'm helping you nail Dombrowski doesn't mean I'm turning my back on UC security. How else am I going to ensure that he ends up behind bars when all this comes crashing down? No, you can leave me out of your merry little band of pirates, thank you very much.
Please report to your cabins in an orderly fashion and remain there until you receive further instructions.
If you don't kill him, I will.
Siren of the Stars is now in emergency status. Please remain calm. This ship is in a state of emergency. Please return to your cabin. All passengers are being asked to return to their cabins at this time.
Well, well. You must be the one who's been accosting Claudia and Gabriel. I'm uncertain what you hope to accomplish here, but it appears we should rapidly enter into some sort of negotiation. Au contraire, my misguided friend. There's a bargain that needs to be hammered out, and you will listen to the facts before we proceed. First, it's clear that you've obtained insider knowledge of my arrangement to defraud Galbank. The means and the method, perhaps, but not the motive. And second, I'm going to hypothesize that my compatriots are despondent regarding their share and have assisted you with this endeavor. Since we're speaking and I'm not at the reporting end of a bullet, this leads me to conclude that you desire something personal
in an orderly fashion and remain there until you receive further instructions.
I see. That certainly places a damper on our negotiations. Perhaps I can hasten my diatribe to temper your violence-ridden contribution. In blunt terms, you have compromising materials about me in your possession. The only thing I have to offer in return are my Galbank credentials. I assume that's what you've been angling for all along? Well, I'm surprised you even posed that question at all. The answer is quite obvious. The last thing I'd want to do at this point is call attention to myself. Splendid. It appears we've reached an accord. Wait, I'm sorry. Let me simplify that for you. It sounds like we have a deal. Oh, of course, I trust you'll understand if I ask for us to avoid any further contact. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to formulate how I'm going to utterly ruin two very annoying business associates. Good day.
All passengers, may I have your attention, please? The captain has declared a ship-wide emergency. Please report to your cabins in an orderly fashion and remain there until you receive further instructions.
Well, looks like everything worked out, just like we planned. I'm glad you feel that way. Just remember to tell Delgado how much I pitched in to help. You know, I'm still wondering exactly what you needed those credentials for. You feel like telling me, partner? Ah, so he told you to keep it from me. I see. I wouldn't want you to risk your position with the fleet like I did, so I'll just leave it alone. Anyway, I suppose there's nothing stopping me from rejoining the fleet now. It's been a long time coming. I owe you one, Doverleach. Nonsense. If there's one universal constant you can depend on, it's that Yevgeny Rokov always makes good on his deals. Always. Well, I suppose this is where we part company. Hopefully the next time we meet, we'll be aboard the Key.
All passengers, may I have your attention, please? The captain has declared a ship-wide emergency. Please report to your cabins in an orderly fashion and remain there until you receive further instructions.
Siren of the Stars is now in emergency status. Please remain calm.
All passengers, may I have your attention, please? The captain has declared a ship-wide emergency.
I need to pack up and get out of here. Why does it?
As you enter the city, please keep moving. Okay, no bounty.
Ever wonder how the Crimson Fleet seems to be everywhere?
Hello, welcome to the Galbank Archives. May I see your credentials, please? Just one moment while I verify. Oh, yes, Mr. Dombrowski. Welcome, sir. Give me a moment to log your visit, and then I'll unseal the archives. How the hell did you know that? Look, Ecliptic busted in here and said something about letting you walk into the archives, and then they're gonna jump you. I'm supposed to let you in and then get the heck out of here. They said if I didn't do exactly what they said, they'd kill me. Just be careful. I don't even know how many of them are hiding in there.
Contact!
Lead the way, Cap. This should be fun.
Hey there. Give it here. See ya, Cap. Next time you see Bog, tell him to buy them out.
You want to kick back? Avoid the last number. Bog's in the mood. Is Mina seeing anyone right now?
You want to stay under the radar.
If you've got the credits.
Don't worry, we should be able to piece it back together. I've got plenty of goodies to choose from. Here to upgrade that ship of yours? I don't mind helping, but... Sure. Let me punch that up, and we can have at it. You've got stuff to smell. All business and I need your cash. It's a match.
Bog's grog is fine if you like cheap moonshine. Give me an Erdebrow lager and I'm good.
Your buddy Rokov is aboard the Key. Told me everything that happened.
Yeah, he won't shut up about you. Keeps going on and on. Now I remember why we kicked his ass out the fleet. Yeah, that'd be a first.
All right, neighbor, you've made your point. Well, since you're vouching for Rokov, I guess we can give him another chance. All right, now that is out of the way, we can move on to the matter at hand. Kryxs' legacy. Speaking of which, let me see that data you copied from the Galbank archives. Ah, so the Galbank transport went down over Bannock 4. Bannock. Why does that sound familiar? Neva?
Yeah, keep your panties on. I'm looking it up. And I got it. Bannock 4. Let's see. Damn it. Bannock 4 is an EM-class gas giant. We can't even get a ship near the thing without frying every circuit aboard. I just said the place is EM class. But hey, if you want to commit suicide, please, go ahead and jump there. Don't let me stop you.
Both of you shut up and think for a second. I'm sure Kryxs hit the same roadblock. All we need to do is figure out how he got around it.
This sounds like a goddamn waste of time to me.
No, this all makes sense. The data says the transport went down over Bannock 4, carrying currency during the Narian War. There were ships fighting across the entire galaxy back then. It's not that hard to believe this one got lost that far out from home. That's the spirit, Rook. That is the essence of the Crimson Fleet that has been slipping away lately. Neighbor, the Galbank data says the transport had a CBR-27 transponder. Can we track that kind of thing? Pinpoint its exact location?
That transponder is military grade. We're talking ultra-bit encryption, constantly reshuffling frequencies. We don't have shit like that laying around. But before you get that pissy look on your face, I heard that the UC's been working on a ship signal decryption system called a comm spike. We grab that little beauty, and we'll be able to track anything you want.
All right, here is the plan, so shut up and listen. Rook, I want you and Neva to put your heads together and get us that comm spike. I don't care if it's mounted at the top of mast. I want it. In the meantime, I'm going to find out more about this EM class gas giant problem. And I think I know just who to ask.
Give me a little time to crunch the numbers on the comm spike with Jazz, and I'll point us in the right direction. I promise. You're gonna write that in your diary, little girl?
All right, that is enough. We are in arm's reach of Kryxs' legacy, and I don't have time to deal with this kind of bullshit. Now, both of you, get the hell out of here and get to work.
All right, let's get this over with. Follow me. Those crabs ain't gonna steal themselves. Thanks for making me look good. I would have had to kill you otherwise. We'll have the whole settled systems on the run someday.
Need a drink? Bog at the Last Nova will be more than happy to take your credits.
So there I am. You see security on my tail, and my graph drive just chokes. And you know what I find back there? The fattest leech I've ever seen.
All right, let's get right to it. Did you get the Earth Savior Award, or am I gonna be very disappointed? Well, look at that. You followed my directions, and now you're gonna end up with some credits in your pocket. That about does it then. Hell of a deal for both of us, I'd say. Anyway, here's your cash. Keep this up, and I might even start respecting you. All right, Fleet? We've all got work to do, so let's get to it.
Anything ship-related, you're at the right place.
Yeah?